Do you guys know what's going on here? Can you guys guess what's going on here in Greece? Can you guess what's going on? It's a play. So this was what the plays look like. There were a lot of times they were political satires, and there would be somebody with a mask. Actually, I think all the actors wore masks, and there was this kind of dynamic. Actually, can you go to the next picture and let's see if you could see kind of like there's one person on the side of the stage, and he's talking, and then these guys have masks, and there was like this back and forth between this person who was kind of narrating the play, and then there was the person that was kind of talking to the audience of the play and kind of helping everybody follow the story, and they all wore masks for some reason. And Jesus talks about this person in Matthew chapter 6. Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets as the hypocrites. This is where we get the word hypocrites. Jesus is referencing, let's put this picture back up if you can. He's referencing the hypocrites are the people wearing the mask. They're the ones that you don't really see the real person, but they're talking to you all the time. You're the audience, they're the person going back and forth, and they are putting on a show, okay? That's the hypocrites, or what we know as the hypocrites. Have you heard the word hypocrites before? Now, you've probably heard the word hypocrite before, but not for me, because I don't ever use that word, because that word stings. Anybody with me? That's like a really mean thing to say to somebody. And it's a word that it can really get lost in context, and we can just start accidentally calling everybody who makes a mistake or who sins a hypocrite. Don't you know that just because you make mistakes, that doesn't make you a hypocrite? Can I pastor you for a second? You are going to make mistakes, okay? You are going to let yourself down. You're gonna do things that you wish that you could take back. You're going to have regrets, and that's because God's given you free will because he loves you, and you can freely choose to obey him or not. And let's just admit that we're not gonna get it right all the time. Can we just be real? And this idea of being a hypocrite is not somebody who makes mistakes. It's somebody who pretends like they don't make mistakes. It's the person who is playing to the audience out there rather than to the most important person that should be paying attention to. Jesus says, when you give, don't do this big display of what you're doing. Don't do it in front of other people. Don't do it like the actors that you see on stage. Don't let your faith become a performance. Nod your head if you're with me. He's talking about guarding your heart from hypocrisy. He's talking about making sure that you're playing to an audience of one. Giving changes your heart. Jesus says where your money goes, your heart follows. And that's what he says right here at the end of this. He says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. He says, but your heart will change as you begin to help other people. And the thing is that's one of the greatest rewards that God will give you is a changed heart. Maybe you're here and you're like, my heart feels hard, and it's just, I feel jaded because of life, and I'm reading way too much news outlets, and I just feel so like my heart is hard. Man, give. Help people who can't help themselves, and just give, no strings attached, and don't tell anybody about it, all right? Just give. Because here's the love language of heaven. Are you ready? For God so loved the world, he gave his son Jesus. For God so loved the world, he put his money where his mouth is, as we say in our context today. He proved how much he loves you by making a sacrifice so that you would know that you are worth it to him. And so that's what we do. We're givers, amen? We're givers. We love to give. Jesus said it's more blessed to give than to receive. Jesus said that. It's better to give than to receive.